And with that being said, we are on to our Keystones, which we have some of, including some dog Keystones. Let's start with this. This is Blazing Piety, which now gives you 15% crit, and it stacks on crits instead of stacking only on kills without the additional node. And for 1 extra node, you can give yourself up to 25% crit, and for 2 additional nodes, you can give you and your team an extra 10% crit. And then you can also give yourself 25% toughness damage reduction and 2% toughness per second. I think this is really solid, if not in that very solid strongest tier.
This is the top.
Do you think it's top? I think it's, yeah, this enables a lot of shit. Crit is good, right?
Right, here's the thing, right? Martyrdom and the crit node are equal, but they're equal but separate. The crit node is very general, it's very lazy. It's very
good call back to a very cool time in American history, by the way.
It's like, listen, it's like, wait, what?
Separate but equal. Is what you said. Okay, yeah,
Oh.
civil rights, the whole civil rights thing, and like water fountains. This and martyrdom, different water fountains for them, guys.
Dude, shut the hell up. Listen, okay? Just historical random quotations are in my head, so I guess they just come out. But I mean, it is true. They are separate.
3/5 of a talent. Yeah, not quite. Different thing.
No, dude, they are separate but equal, though. Like,
they are separate but equal, for sure.
I probably could have found a better way to word
They
that.
performed for different purposes, but they are really good. Yes, I agree.
Exactly. Like, they both reduce your toughness damage taken by a lot. They both increase your damage by a whole lot. Martyrdom gives you more damage and more toughness resistance, but you do live on the edge, and there is some dumb bullshit that can kill you, like a pox burst or a sniper or whatever. So, like, ironically, can I say something? I think True Grit should be on the Zealot. I think that would do a lot. The Arbiter a lot weaker, and it would make the Zealot, like, not potentially the worst class in the game. But anyway, I think like this crit node, it's always been like the default, just
good
pick
node,
this option. Yeah. It does everything. You get almost every stat in the game increased because of this in some way. You get attack speed because you're critting more, causing you to gain attack speed. You're doing more damage. The damage has special properties because it's a crit. It gives you
the fact.
It just does literally everything.
Yeah, the fact that they rolled in that you can pick up the previously only defensive sided node for that 25% toughness damage reduction, when this is already crit enabling, which is giving you the 40% toughness damage reduction crit on crit for 4 seconds node. Yeah, like it's super defensive. It's got that trickle of toughness over time, which constant regenerative effects are very strong in Darktide. Especially when you're like a dodgy fighter like this, you'll take like 1 attack and you just need like a second to sweat that off, and you're good to go again. Take another hit. And of course, crits are not just damage in this game, right? They are armor penetration on their own, because crits have a different way that they scale their damage through armor. And of course, crits enable tons of blessings, tons of perks on weapons, and of course, they enable some of the most powerful weapons in the game: dueling sword, knife, all that stuff. Like, if you're not critting with certain weapons, you're not doing damage, and this just straight up makes it so you can do damage. So yeah, it's just super solid.
The fact that you can now give your teammates 2 tier 4 perks worth of value as well, because of points and whatnot.
Yeah, the 10% crit for 1 node is honestly like actually a consideration now, because you can do it at the same time.
Oh, I don't think it's a consideration. I regret not glazing that node super hard. It's something I need to go back and correct, because that is 2 Prescience auras. That is 2, like,
it makes a big difference.
Imagine, 10% crit for everyone. That pumps the veteran from 60 to 70% crit chance. That puts the Psyker up to like 70% crit chances.
You never know when a crit is going to make the difference, right? Like,
that puts the Arbiter have like
something. Yeah, everybody. Like, I mean, and Ogren is like the most benefited of all. Well, not really the most benefited of all, but like Ogren has no crit. Like, the man has 2.5% base crit, so this is literally 4x his crit just getting this. And like, there are certain weapons on Ogren, you feel it when you get the crit. Like, there's a reason they made his crit so low. They made his base damage high, and they made his crit low as a design choice, But and previously they didn't make his base damage high enough, but now that they made his base damage so high, when this guy does crit, it actually kind of like hurts a lot. So like giving him that as an accessible route is very nice. But yeah, this is a really solid. Definitely like for certain archetypes of Zealot, the strongest on Zealot. But at the same time, there is also Martyrdom to consider, which is also the strongest on Zealot for the other archetypes. It's like this one or the other one. If you're using two-handers and slow, like categorically slow weapons, or weapons that have special effects like the Eviscerator, or I mean the Thunderhammer is kind of a jank weapon as it is, but like those weapons benefit like in massive ways. They really take those stats that it provides, because the attack speed, the 30% attack speed, scales the animations as well. Those sort of weapons feast on the stats that are provided by this, and of course 40% toughness damage reduction ain't nothing to shake a stick at either. But yeah, and also the fact that they made this be in line with the pretty damn usable cooldown reduction node now, where being on low health is actually viable. If you're a top 5% player, this is a GOAT node. Like, you will destroy games with this if you cannot die.
I think Martyrdom has always been super strong, but Martyrdom has always existed in this valley where if you can use it, it's literally the best thing in the game. Dueling Sword, Martyrdom, Zealot, it's literally the best thing. But if you cannot consistently do it, or you're liable to get hit by a Foxburster or something, it's like miserable. And I don't know why they buffed this. They really didn't need to buff this.
I do, but I mean, because like it gave, so like, the previous problem was if you were running Martyrdom Zealot, you weren't running Cooldown Zealot, and Cooldown Zealot was the only Zealot to run, right? Because you were not able to sustain enough crit to reliably trigger Invocation of Death, and you were expending too many points there to invest in some like the other nodes. So they buffed it because like it just didn't have an archetype where it could be Cooldown Zealot, and Cooldown Zealot was literally the only way to play. Now it also has a way to sustain cooldown, and that's what brings it level with the rest of with Blazing Piety. Is like Blazing Piety can cool down just a little bit quicker if you're like always in combat. But Martyrdom's cooldown is dependable.
Like, I think even before that, Martyrdom was on par with Blazing Piety. I think, especially, like, all you did was put Finesse on the Dueling Sword, and, like, Finesse plus Scourge, you're already at 50% crit chance. That's plenty of enough time to keep it up.
Riposte, but yeah, I get your point.
20%
crit chance,
Riposte plus Scourge was already 50% crit chance, just for those two things.
And then you just run charge with it, you guarantee your crit to start the chain. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't even need that. Just 5% on the sword, 5% on the base class. You're 60% base crit without anything else, and it's like that's plenty enough.
It was never bad. It was just like for the builds that would find their way into like the Havoc meta, you would just go the crit because you need.
Yeah, I do.
Well, and that's because like Zealot has been losing power over time as his. Like his role is getting crept out of existence. Like, what can Zealot do currently that Ogre and Arbides can't do better? I don't know. And now even Veteran is fucking on this guy's ass. It's eating his fucking lunch, dude. Like, what, he's supposed to be the melee assassin, or like he's either supposed to be like the tanky, like destroy everything fighter, the front line. Ogre and Arbides are just like 10 steps ahead of him, just like bowling through hordes. He's supposed to like assassinate targets instantly. Then the Veteran just does it without needing to stealth or whatever. So I mean, I'm glad they're giving him more power, but I feel like he needs something else. I'm not certain what. Like his identity. His lunch has been eaten, basically. I don't know. Let's not make this talking about the Zealot meta. Okay, Momentum, aka whatever, standard or not so good.
Power crept out of the game completely.
This one
power crept
or rework?
There was a time. Nah, I don't think it needs a rework. I just think it needs a number adjustment.
Yeah,
this used to be really strong. I remember there was a time when this was really good. Back when like the knife was like the de facto meta weapon.
Yeah.
This weapon was really good. There was a time when bleed, momentum, knife zealots were all. This shit has been getting power crept out of the game constantly. Like the actual numbers on these
damage.
buffs are terrible. Yeah, the numbers on these buffs are terrible. Martyrdom is giving you like 60% damage and 30% attack speed.
What would the break point be like for Martyrdom if you are missing? Let's see, if you're missing 3 wounds, you have 30% melee damage and you have
Yeah, that's the
18%
thing.
attack speed, you're already
I don't
above
really know
this.
what you can do. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really know what you can do to momentum to make it competitive.
You
I
could
kind of feel
play
like you just need to,
Martyrdom with no wound curios, and you would have
and it will still be better.
10,
Yeah, it will
10 or
still be better.
15% more stats than this, and you'd have toughness damage reduction, which this does not offer, which is better than the regenerative
Yeah,
effect this
it's
offers. And it's up 100%
honestly
of the time. So, like,
this is
yeah.
starting to enter rework
This
territory
doesn't
because it's
have an
just like,
identity at all either. This is the most bland, like, maybe one of the most bland keystones in the game. It's just, like, this is what I felt. This is what the problem that I identified with Zealot before is that, like, all of his keystones are just guy who attacks fast with melee weapon. Like, yes, one of them is now crit, but the other two are just attack faster and hit harder. And that is not a unique. And one of them is you're safer doing it, and the other one is risky play. That's it. Like, okay, so I mean,
one of them is harder hitterer and faster hitterer and more defensive hitterer. Because honestly, I don't even think Martyrdom, if you're gonna play minimum wounds Martyrdom, like, I think it's ridiculous. Minimum wounds Martyrdom is like, it's just the fact that, like, is better than momentum is so weird to me.
It just makes no sense that you could, because if you run minimum wounds martyrdom, you have 4 wounds. So if you're on 1 wound, you have the maximum effect out of the cooldown aura above it. You're at 25% HP. That's exactly how much you'll recuperate with your until death. So it's kind of optimal in that sense. You're missing out on those maximal damage, but like you get 2 curios of 17% toughness now to add, so you gain 34% toughness, which like extends you a long way. It's very much viable, and you get way more stats than this provides. Like, you get 30% attack speed and 18% 30% damage and 18% attack speed, and then what is it, 7.5%, so like 30% toughness damage reduction. So yeah, or like 25% or something. Like, so this says there's no way you would take this.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Numbers wise, like, you take one look at the numbers, you're like, it's too low.
Listen, see me after class, basically. That's that's what I like to see this kind of thing. This is, honestly, I think this needs to go into rework, please, because of what you identified.
Yeah,
it's just it's
paling in comparison. Yeah, they all have these two can coexist, because while they are both just boost damage, boost attack speed, boost toughness, they function for different weapons. This one and this one are competing for weapons, and kind of this one and this. Like, this one is trying to just play. I'm the everyman, guys. Hey, I'm a centrist. Listen, why don't we just not go so crazy? You don't need to lose all your HP. Basically, you don't need to go all in on crits. I'm in the middle.
Yeah, the way I look at this
there's some very fine people on both sides.
The way I look at it is just, hey, I can tell that you've been cheating on your homework. See me after, because this is like, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But the next thing is actually very good.
Warp Siphon recently got a buff. It now has 4% damage per charge, base damage per charge. So, like, you can be running at 16% base damage. I mean, this is just the auto take if you're running for Flame Staff, which is just like 95% of builds. It lowers the cooldown. Yeah, so like,
I think it does everything.
Yeah, it's just like the most meta thing possible for the Psyker is cooldown reduction, bubble, Flame Staff. This buffs Flame Staff. It perfectly synergizes with Flame Staff. It's built for it. And then it buffs bubble because it makes your cooldown like even crazier lower with bubble. So like, you're having 2-3 bubbles near constantly on the map. And the thing is, like, about the Psyker's keystones, depending on your weapon choice, and this is something I complain about Psyker, and hopefully they fix, like, when they come back. Depending on your weapon choice, you don't have options for keystones on Psyker. If you choose Flame Staff, you are choosing Warp Siphon. You're not choosing Disrupt Destiny. It has no function for Flame Staff. And you're not choosing Empowered Psionics because you're not using your Blitz. So like yeah, if you're using the most powerful weapon in the class, you're using this one, and it's perfect for it. So there you go.
Yeah, there's really not much to say. It gives you damage, it gives you toughness if you take that note, it gives you an unbelievable amount of cooldown.
Yeah.
Like, there's really just not much to say. It literally does it's like 20% to every single stat in the game other than attack speed. It's like,
true.
Okay, sure. I'll take that.
All right, moving on to Empowered Psionics. What do you think about this?
This has one build with Smite. That's an actual build. but I don't think it should go into the strongest.
No, it's not strongest because it has one build. Yeah, it's definitely not.
I don't
it's not
even
that strong.
I don't even think it's solid, honestly. I think it's just standard. I think this node is weird as hell.
That's true. Yeah,
because
it wastes
the
a lot of
fact-
its potential.
Dude, look at what it does for the other two blitzes, and then look at what it does for fucking Smite.
Yeah.
Read
Look
this
at-
shit
yeah.
out loud. It's ridiculous. This is literally Smite. This Keystone is literally just, hey man, there's a designer who really wants Smite to be good. So yeah, I mean, look at 100% peril cost reduction for one brain burn.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
one of the like, okay, so like, you know, basically the way the Keystone works is like, okay, when you get kills, it gives you a chance to get a peril charge or empowered psionics charge, right? Empowered brain burst, you'll expend one charge on an elite to guarantee you get one charge back with overpowering souls. If you use it on a sale, you may or may not get that charge back because you'll throw one needle and it'll do like 5% extra damage and it won't cost you peril.
No, I mean you just literally
this is
all it
useless for a sale. This is useless for a sale.
Seriously think about it. A
So
sale
bad.
gets a free needle with like a 10% damage
Wow,
buff.
a free needle. Holy shit.
Yeah. Brain burst.
And
just
no,
gets the
yeah,
now
it does
burst
almost
now-
17% extra damage on that needle. Hold on.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's a free needle that does like 10%
No,
damage.
by the way, it's
Brain
not.
burst.
Oh, yeah, it is a free needle. Yeah, it doesn't consume charges. Like I've never even considered using
exactly.
it. And then Smite, it literally destroys the entire map. It's like if you use Smite without this, you do nothing. You put this on Smite and you do millions of damage.
Honestly,
yeah, this is broken.
See, if we're rating these on strength, I like it where it is. If we're
it's like for if you if you looked at the things not including Smite, it would be here. If you look at it for just Smite, it's here.
Yeah.
So it's here.
Yeah,
Done.
seriously, because
Right.
it's just like, dude. Yeah, okay.
All right, Disrupt Destiny.
Get out of my class.
Yeah.
Get out of my class.
Get out of my
Disrupt
class.
Destiny is solid.
Solid.
is
Yeah,
solid.
that's true. Yeah. So
I
like
think
this is
good.
like, it's not as good like as Blazing Piety, but it enables the same sort of thing. Where like, okay, for these sort of builds, you've got this one. For these sort of builds, you got this one. There you go.
The problem with Disrupt Destiny is that the build that it synergizes with is that
Non-havoc viable. Yeah.
scalable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something. If Disrupt Destiny and Momentum swapped, now we'd be like, I don't even necessarily mean swapped. I just mean like if you put Disrupt Destiny on basically any class that is not Psyker. Oh my
Veteran
God,
already has
you are
this,
taking
so.
this you are taking this every single time. If you literally grabbed this Keystone, lifted it, and dropped it on like Ogren or something, oh my God. It would be unbelievable. Give this to like a veteran or a zealot. Oh,
Veteran already
Christ.
has this with Marksman's Focus, but yeah, like it's pretty similar.
No, it's not even. That's a very no. This is just a constant, especially with perfectionism working the way it does now. And Mystery, I'm sorry, I have to do this to you.
It's impossible.
25 stacks, it's literally impossible.
It's impossible. There's not enough enemies on the map, guys. Remember when I made this, there wasn't enough enemies on some maps. Now, okay, like now you can like shoot a gun in a random direction, you'll get 3 headshots. So
the thing with this is that it's just, I mean, look at the numbers on it. It's like actually, hold on, go back.
I mean, it's a stupid amount of numbers. That's the wrong one.
It's the numbers on this are insane. So 20% movement speed for kill, 25% toughness back every time you kill these guys, and then you get like 25% damage. You get 50% critical
well, yeah.
damage,
let's assume the baseline: 15% damage, 30% critical damage.
Perfectionism. You're always taking
not if you're a trash can. And then but I mean, like, just for 1 point, like it's a ton for 1 point. Yeah, it's really, but it's still,
and then you spend. Well, think about that. Yeah, it's a ton for 1 point, and then you spend 1 more point, and you double that tonnage. And it's like, okay, or nearly double the tonnage. Yeah, seriously, give a Keystone that says 30% damage, 60% crit damage, and like 70% finesse damage to like Zealot, and all of a sudden he comes like, Marty Dom all of a sudden is like, we got a little bit of competition here. But like, and then you, God forbid, give that to something like.
But yeah, it's not a class that can't really make the best use of it. Yeah, and like
the problem
more
problem is that
acutely, it's like you're not single target killing.
I will say, Void Staff. If you, this
Void
is something
Strike
that
Staff?
I think has a. Yes, this is something that I think has a lot of potential. Void Strike. This is something .nl introduced me. Void Strike Staff cleaving through crushers.
Yeah.
And
There's a
it's
reason
when
that they
you're
nerfed
playing
this
Mr.
ability right here.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one, True Aim. You used to
True
be able
Aim.
to shoot in a line and just it would instantly crit and blow everything up, and it was funny.
I never liked True Aim because I always said True Aim was bad because it was bad for its intended purpose. But if you were Psyker is a class, Psyker is the most prone to abuse class in the
Yeah,
game. There are
pretty
so many
obvious.
like macro cheats. There are so
There's
many unintended
quell
interactions.
canceling,
If you,
flame staff
yeah,
bullshit,
listen,
smite
man.
bullshit.
If you want a character, okay, I'm gonna say something. Psyker is undoubtedly the strongest class in the game, but if you play them in the way that makes them the strongest class in the game, you are probably the least liked person in the
Yeah.
because they are, remember ball spam? Remember
Yeah,
original
they
macro
nerfed
ball
that
spam?
finally. They finally got rid
Dude,
of that.
I mean, there is still a way to do it. I was watching someone do it with the electro staff. They
You
got
can still
3.5 million damage.
you can still manually do it.
ridiculous.
Yeah. It's less crazy than it was, right?
No, there is a privated mod to automate it.
Oh,
I was
great.
playing.
Fucking
They
great.
got 3.5 million damage in an auric melee.
Yeah, it's just
Psyker
like
absolutely still has that craziness. They're just
it's
more
just the
low-key
least fun. Yeah, like all of the ways you can abuse it with the Psyker, it's like the
Like,
least fun thing possible. I played
that's
one
what I mean.
game with
That's
a
what
guy who had that, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah, no,
very
that's
impressed,
exactly
but
what
I'm
I
like,
mean.
oh,
That's
please leave my
exactly what I mean.
game. Like,
Yeah, no, seriously, that's exactly what I mean.
But
It's like
if you are a sweaty guy and you want to spend like 80 hours in your basement searching over things in the Psychanium and hoping and praying that you find the one thing that's broken, this is a good class to go mining for it on, because there's a decent chance, like every time they patch the Psyker, there's a decent non-zero chance that there's something they broke that's gonna be absurd and break the game.
This is why there's only like 3 people on like YouTube that are like generally allowed to discuss Psyker, because there's so much of this esoteric stupid bullshit.
And that's why
that unless you
I
know
just
it
stick
all,
to Smite.
yeah,
all right, let's move on to Arbides.
Oh baby,
How do you feel about
so
execution order? Because I mean, this should, you play with for one day, you should be very easily able to place this.
Someone told me in my chat that this Keystone, if you don't take this, you are a Tylenol baby if you use forceful over it. And I have not been able to let that comment go.
Yeah.
I think this is top. This is top of the top.
Yes, it is.
This
yeah,
thing
good job.
is ridiculous. Honestly, the more I play with it, the more I'm like, because I was playing with First Door Guardsman and I was trying it. And I was like, dude.
Were you playing with Dog?
I think that guy might be right. No, actually. I was playing this with Lone Wolf.
You can play Lone Wolf with it, and it is still really fucking good. Like, yeah, it's that absurd. But like this is the node on the class. Like for Dog,
I think it is.
Duh. Like if you're playing Dog, you take this 100%. There's no other option if you're playing Dog, because it literally 2.5x's the Dog's damage. It turns the Dog into an attacker that can kill elite gunner in like less than 2 seconds. So the Dog can actually contribute with this node, and that means these buffs are 100% up. It's the only cooldown in the whole tree, and this class does not need cooldown. His abilities are stupid, so yeah, like having cooldown breaks him, and it just like, oh, and of course, the information alone, like the fact that this paints enemies and never stops painting enemies, so you just know where the trappers are, you know where the gunners are behind cover, like you can see in lights out and stuff like that. It's just an absurd.
Who's that one?
Go ahead.
Who's that one guy on Reddit that always complains about Maul? And he's finally gotten his nightmare to come true. Everyone now has the one hack.
Oh yeah. It's just like
you know the
like,
guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that like to a T. It's like, yeah, you have wall hacks. You know exactly where the enemies are, and like if it was just that and then the nodes underneath it, that would be enough to make it one of the most powerful keystones in the game with the cooldown. Like, look at these nodes, right? These nodes you were 100% taking. 10% crit chance and 25% crit damage. This is the veteran's Desperado, but for all damage. And this boosts your crit like crazy. Not to mention, this is the keystone that's directly under these two nodes, which you take in every single tree. I know we haven't talked about placement too much, but this is free as fuck. You are not, like other builds, sometimes you aren't going farther than like here, like for some builds, and you know, sometimes you're going forward in the rebreather in the middle tree, so there's no way you're going to invest in taking Terminus for it. But like, this is right underneath the most brain dead obvious nodes taking the whole tree, and then you gain more crit. And these buffs are long too, dude. 8 seconds. You can trigger it. Your dog can trigger it. Yeah, and then like you get damage and toughness regeneration and attack speed. Like, what the fuck?
And that stacks with lone wolf.
It stacks.
That stacks with the lone wolf.
Of course it does. Of course it does. So you have, yeah, you have like so much
Arbiter
stats.
Gets to pick 2 fucking keystones for some reason. If you take Execution Order and low. Yep. 2 keystones. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so like as long as you're good enough to kill the marked target, yeah, you just win. And this paints so many targets. Like, it's not like Disrupt Destiny. That's when I initially took it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Disrupt Destiny. You're gonna hunt down the targets. I went into a game and I'm like, what the fuck? Everything is marked. I could just kill any enemy and I'm getting this. So yeah, this is insane. Like, it's just insane. It's so good. Not to say that, like, you know, there aren't other good things that are good in the class, but yeah. Let's go ahead and do all RBs while we're here. How do you feel about Forceful?
I'll be honest with you. I think Forceful is never going to be lower than Tippy Top as well. I think, I honestly, after playing with them both, I've come to the conclusion that we have now reached retard power, where it literally does not matter what you do.
It's called RBB brain.
You're winning. Yeah, you're winning upwards.
Someone in your chat told you yesterday that you will play RBDs for like 20 hours and you'll be worse at the game. It can happen. It can and will happen to you guys, because like you will grow complacent on the power of this class. Yeah, and Forceful is like just this passive stack of stats, and you won't fucking die.
The fact that this gives you damage through the one thing at the bottom left. This gives you stun immunity as if you were a zealot. This gives you like attack speed on the right there. It's literally, this gives you toughness replenishment. This gives you cleave, attack speed, damage, toughness replenishment, damage reduction. Like, what the fuck else, dude? Do you want to give? Do you want to like give a hand job too while we're at it?
So like, to put it in perspective, you've got, so you're using the RBD Shock Maul, right? Because that's the weapon on the class, right? So you're using this weapon that already attacks about 6 times a second. You're taking 10% attack speed here. You're taking 10% attack speed here, and you have 125% cleave. So the one weakness of this weapon that it can't cleave all that well is gone. And then you just stack 15% damage nodes. It loses out on cooldown reduction.
Nodes that are...
Yeah, it misses out on cooldown reduction. It misses out on crit, but you still get 16% crit and headshot damage. And then you're invincible.
If you're gonna play with the shield bash, which honestly I've been becoming more partial to,
this is with this. You don't need this.
Then you don't need.
That's right.
You don't even need the cooldown.
This node is for these two, and this one is for this one. That's what it's for. Because this cooldown is 2 seconds. Like, it's like literally actually like 6 seconds or something like that if you get the charge right. So you don't need the cooldown. So you just go here and you're invincible. And then you get this is very comfortable to take Douglas with. And this makes you, you can perfectly block all attacks. Like, if you're a goated player, and this is what I was trying to tell you, if you are the god of all gods, you play this node because this maximizes your melee prowess. You can stack so much damage, like the extra 25% damage here, you've got 25% strength here, your attack speed is through the roof, like you can have 40% attack speed, especially if you go like shield and you do a perfect block up here with retaliatory force. You just perfect block, or you can do this with a mace too, but if you do the shield and you perfect block, this gets so funny. I've done it sometimes on stream. I think there was a glitch for a while, but if you had the shock mine down and it started triggering multiple times on this node right here, targets acquired, and you would see my game lag because my attack speed just goes through the roof. You're attacking like, it would just go like 100% attack speed and you're just pummeling out these attacks. So funny. Like, yeah.
Honestly, you kind of need to do that and you do auto attacks by just holding down the button.
Yes, you need an auto clicker. You need an auto clicker for this because you'll overspam.
You literally get too much attack speed to where, like, unless you're like breaking your finger, you actually can't make use of all.
Yeah, and then you have to consider also that one of the strongest things about this class is not only is he super durable, but he can regenerate his toughness percentage based every single second, and you've got 5% per second here, and you've got 5% per second here. and that's 10% per second. If you had the dog, you go 15% per second, but 10% is enough. So like, even if you get chipped at all, yes, you're going to recuperate it in the next time you attack, which is like probably 50 milliseconds away, but you'll recuperate it before that with your constant regen.
Oh, this fast, it's way faster than that, dude. 50 milliseconds for most people at 60
1/20 of a
FPS
second?
is like
Yeah.
1 frame. Yeah, no, so if you're attacking like 6 times in like, you know,
Yeah,
like,
it's literally
yeah,
that
no,
fast.
yeah.
Anyway, okay, we need to move on. We're at 2 hours, and we got all these to go, all the abilities to go. Okay, let's go. Okay, dogless. This is stopping the game, right?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
single node
I
is
mean, I
5
think
talents.
yeah.
This is the like.
I think everybody knows. Lone
Yeah,
Wolf,
that's
Shock
broken.
Mine, Castigator Stance,
Yeah. Okay.
cooldown for
Yeah.
Castigator
Castigator
Stance.
stance.
That's not Castigator Stance,
This
dude.
isn't.
That's
No, sorry,
Weapon
that's Terminus.
Specialist.
This is not weapon specialist. This is Castigator stance. What's Castigator stance look like?
That's RB. Castigator Stance is an ultimate, not a fucking purple ability,
Oh,
dumbass.
what am I stupid? Yeah, never mind. I'm looking at colors.
It's the Arbides bootleg Executioner stance. It's the
wait, no,
left
it's
side
this
ability.
glitchy ass one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
dude,
this
it's the
is
one where he's got the
Terminus.
It's that one. It's right next to Ogren Charge and Shout. It's got it's him with the
Okay,
shield
I'm not skipping to the
with an-
abilities, but we were talking about it. Anyway, so
Alright.
yeah, what do you think about the other dog abilities? This is 25% damage to elites, and this is 50% damage to gunners, and it makes them prioritize those targets.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't really gotten into any number crunching. I hate the dog. I don't like anything about it. I don't like using the dog. I don't like having to ping things for the dog.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the dog.
I
can already foresee that Lone Wolf. Yeah, I can already tell you Lone Wolf is better than the other two. It's like dog is fun.
Well,
dog automates a lot of the process.
The thing about these is you don't have to take them. Is what I'll say as well. Like you can just save a point, and there's better points to spend. So I'll give them the standard because they're a very like flavorful thing, but I don't really want to weigh in on them one way or the other. Also, if you're a PC player and you use mods, there's mods that do this for you, which I think is kind of cheat. Like for whatever reason, that rubs up against my cheating sense that like Dog Whistle can literally just say, oh, only attack gunners. Like if you're using that, then there's literally no reason to use this other than it gives you a little extra damage. And if you're using the dog, you're using this Keystone, so you already have enough damage, so what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That Keystone steps on their toes very bad because like you already killed this stuff like instantly.
Yeah.
With
okay, I'm gonna put these
so,
niche or not so good actually, because yeah, it's like you're
yeah,
for me personally.
It's literally the Keystone.
Me personally, you're either using this or nothing. So there you go. Okay. Terminus Warrant. Niche not so good.
Let's go on Terminus. Let's go on Terminus Warrant. I want to talk about this because I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I feel like, listen, just go on the thing. Let me make the case for them.
Okay.
I don't think it is as bad as people say it is. It's obviously not,
the other two.
So go on to the.
That's what you're saying. Go on to the thing is like not really helpful.
All right. So listen. Ranged attack, stack the blah blah blah. Okay. Yeah. So it's easy to build those stacks with the shotgun. One shot through a horde and you just keep shooting. You keep the stacks are not the hardest things in the world to get.
Yep.
But
for the shotgun.
Yeah. And 15% damage. It's another one of these fucking nodes. The problem here is that 15% damage and 25% impact is just a node.
Right.
So,
and when you consider these extra nodes, 15% melee attack speed, that's something.
It is.
And
it is.
So is 15% attack speed. It's something. And 50% melee rending, it really isn't something. So there's that. But the gun one is good.
Though that this is to go on the other two.
These?
On the other two nodes? Yeah, so these nodes are kind of whatever, but 100% melee toughness. I was just about to say,
this
100% melee toughness.
The second effect is good too.
Yes, sending your toughness to your teammates is actually really
on this class, is quite crazy.
Yeah,
because you print your entire toughness bar in 2 seconds, so you're printing a quarter of this in 2 seconds.
Exactly. So that's actually not bad. The problem with this Keystone is I think you should lose a stack every kill instead of every hit.
Yeah, that's the correct take.
I think if you did that,
or
you
it
would
should be
automatically
capped per swing. Yes.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think
I did a video on this, and I spent a long time testing it. So what ends up happening is it's pretty obvious. If you play with it for any amount of time, you know, the RBDs attack so fast, and hitting a horde for 1 second will immediately cap your range stacks, and it'll use all your melee stacks. And you want those melee stacks. Like, look at the buffs that it gives you, right? It's impact, melee damage, melee attack speed, and rending. So they want you to attack high value targets with that rending, but you're going to waste it because there's going to be horde enemies that get in your way, and you're going to cleave them, and you're just going to immediately spend all those stacks. You'll have range stacks only. So the only weapons on the class that are able to sufficiently and efficiently get the stacks back for melee is just like the shotgun into a horde, and at that point you're just wasting ammo just to get melee damage. So just take the thing that gives you melee damage, right? Or take this. Like, so you're wasting ammo to get some buffs you could get anywhere else. The only build that this actually works with is you can do like a single shot sniper build with this, which makes like no sense, but like you can get the range stacks really easily. You won't get any benefit out of this for the melee stuff, but you could get reload speed, and you could get rid of judgment for the 25% critical strike and 25% weak spot damage, and you do some serious damage with bolter and revolver. Like, those are the two weapons that actually work with it, because you don't use that many range stacks with it, and they like those stats. And they like ranged cleave and suppression. Like, the bolter works really well with this for single shots.
I think it's just okay.
It's just too pigeonholed into like a couple of weapons that it works with. And the solution would be, as you said, what I thought is probably just cap the number of stacks it takes per swing with the melee weapon at like 2. So you at least get 15 swings out of it before you use up all your stacks, because it costs ammo to get stacks of that, which sucks.
Yeah.
So you're like expending a very valuable resource to get something that's not so valuable.
Because here's the way I view it, right?
Yes.
It does
both parts.
It doesn't need a rework, because the problem is not in the concept or the problem is this one little hang up in the execution. And I'm not even sure if it's niche / not so good, because let's just assume for a second it didn't have this drawback.
Mm-hmm.
It would actually be like, compared to the other Keystones, I mean, I wouldn't complain. It's not like momentum. It's not, I don't know. I think when I look at this standard and this niche, I can absolutely see a world where I'm never going to use the elite damage on site. I'm never going to use that.
I would never use this. Would you ever use this?
Okay, imagine a world where it's not competing with the other two Keystone. Are you gonna...
Oh, well, maybe then I don't have any other choices.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying, for this one, think about this one in a vacuum.
Compared to other stuff, like compared to this? Okay, it is comparable to Empowered Psionics, because Empowered Psionics has one good build, and this has like one good build. But Empowered Psionics one good build is like crazy goated.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, Terminus Warrant is like, it's like...
It's high niche, low standard. How about that?
You have to put in... Okay, let me put it this way. You have to put in a shit ton of unnecessary work to make it work, but it is at least functional. You know, it's not like a direct whole... It's just a little confused. It just needs a little after...
Okay, well, I'm going to say low standard. Fat Shark, if you watch this, it's niche or not so good. Buff it. Okay, thanks. All right, let's go on, and we'll save the veterans for last. We'll do the Ogrins real quick. We got Burst Limiter Override. I think this is... I mean, there's one build, right, that abuses the fuck out of this, and it's the Ogrenheimer build. But I don't really want to, like, make it around that. The improvement to this, by the way, like, you know, the way they rebuff this makes it more usable for every ranged weapon. The problem is that ranged Ogren doesn't exist because this ability sucks ass. So
they nerf the fuck out of this, like, and then buff the Keystone. Why?
Yeah, the Keystone is generally usable by all ranged weapons now, but there's like one ranged weapon that like really runs away with this power, and that's the one that I don't really want to base it around. But like Lucky Bullet and this are absurd. This gives you access to maximum firepower, which is your other cooldown stat on the class. I think I'm just ranking it really solid. Like, if there was other range weapons on the Ogren that were viable because the ranged Ogren archetype was viable, you would see other stuff being played with it, because it actually does have lots of different uses, right? You can guarantee crits, you can get range damage, you can get fire rate, you can get cooldown. Like, there's lots of stuff and just flat damage. There's lots of stuff here, but there's not many reasons to run range on Ogryn right now because there's nothing else in the tree that's going to make anything else good except for Rumbler.
Yeah, I think ranged Ogryn is just a flawed base. I think Fat Shark kind of realized that too. They kind of like, it's like they pretend it doesn't exist, and you know, we're all better off for it except for Ogryn players.
That's very true.
They aren't. Listen, man. Ogryns aren't smart enough to realize anyway. So they, you know, to them, one third of your skill tree being like not applicable and not being like catered to. I mean, what's the difference between a 3 and a 2 to an Ogryn at the end of the day?
That's absolutely right. We've got Feel No Pain here. I think this is like the epitome of like a standard Keystone. It just makes you take less damage. It's just like, okay, I don't really want to go all in a melee. I just kind of want to be a tank Ogryn, right? Okay, you can tank better now. You're going to take less damage and regenerate more toughness. You're going to stagger stuff back when it gets broken. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? And it's below some really good nodes. Like this you're taking this node in every build, so you're there. It's just like, yeah, it's just super standard, whereas the other ones actually have uses. It's like if you're making a build, if you're an Ogryn player and you're making a build and you're going to carry the game, you're going here or you're going here. If you're just an Ogryn and you're along for the ride, you're playing with your buddies, you're going here. Like, that's it. So yeah, I'll just give a standard.
My only issue with Feel No Pain is the difference between an Ogryn that takes Feel No Pain and an Ogryn that takes Heavy Hitter is like very
dude, it's about 300,000 damage at the end of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the difference.
I would never want to play with a Feel No Pain Ogryn.
Or you're like, oh guys, I didn't take any damage. Great. Yeah, how about actually killing some stuff, which is the idea of the game, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Heavy Hitter though, I will say is I don't know. Is it?
What'd they do to it?
They lowered its stats a little bit here. So previously, you're not gonna. It's not that impressive. Previously, this is the same. So what it does is it gives you 24% melee damage, and for 7.5 seconds. This previously gave you 1.5% damage reduction or toughness damage reduction for each stack. So you're losing 2% toughness damage reduction here, but overall, that's still 12% right there. Or sorry, that's 10%. It used to be 12. Crimea River. This is not taken because replenishment is way worse than toughness damage reduction. 10% attack speed is still a thing, and then they lowered the cleave from 15% cleave, I think. 15% cleave to 12.5%, and they lowered the impact from 10% to 7.5%. So I think the only thing that really fundamentally changed here for Ogryns is, I believe, and someone will have to correct me on this if they've tested it, but Impactful has reached this low enough stagger threshold that you can no longer slap demon hosts and stagger them infinitely, which was a thing previously because the slap on the Bully Club was allowing you to push them around. They couldn't do anything, but that may or may not be true because you could take that and then slam, and then you'd have enough impact just to do that.
I think when you consider how insane the Ogryn buffs to their weapons were, these percent increases are even like better than before.
I mean,
even with lower
these percent increases are still, remember, it's 8 stacks, so this is still 60% impact. This is still 100% cleave.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
So imagine this is an individual node on any other tree. These are insane. And then and it's just for 1 point, right? And then you get 10% attack speed. Like, these are guaranteed. You are taking, and they're exclusive. So you're just taking one, but like you pick the one and you're good. So like, yeah, this is a goated node. It's just crazy damage. If you're going melee and you're doing damage, you're doing this. I think it's Ogryn's best. It's Ogryn's best. Yeah, I think Ogryn is probably like the strongest, or at least as far as just like effort to DPS output for melee, the Ogryn's the strongest in the game.
Ogryn is fucking brain dead, dude. Yeah. Come on.
It's literally just hold down button, walk through the map, dodge if anything gets around you, win the game. So yeah, this is nuts.
I firmly believe Ogryn should stay as the worst class in the game because of that. Just because he's like dumb. Like, he's just simple. Like, you don't want W plus M1 man to be
players
like the
still can't figure it out though, man. They can't, like, yeah. But like, once Ogryn has this, like, if you reach this certain threshold of skill, you'll know, like, Ogryn just like rolls over everything below a certain difficulty. Like, it just turns off the difficulty entirely. It's only once you get into that challenge that like High Havoc poses where like any threat begins to come back to him, where the damage that's dealt can actually like challenge him in any way, shape, or form, and the health pools are high enough. Let's talk about Veteran here. So let's start with your
All right,
favorite, which
my
is Weapon Specialist. Your specialty indeed.
All right.
Weapon Specialist.
This shit was slept on for a very long time.
True.
Weapon Specialist is one of those keystones where I understand why so many people don't gel with this, because this is like it's like they made this keystone for me. I feel this keystone on a spiritual level because
this hole it's made for me.
No, I do, because this keystone only really works in like a super effective way when you are using the best weapons in the game, because they get the most benefit from this keystone.
Right.
So it's like it really encourages you to play with the strongest weapons, and it really encourages you to constantly dip into every part of your kit.
It just so happens to fit the best weapons in the game is what happens here. Yeah. Like,
well, I mean, even okay, hold on. Even like, well, I don't know, because the best weapons in the game have pretty much not changed for Veteran.
Right.
So
but
it's
what
like,
I'm saying is like,
know,
yeah, it is fortuitous for those best weapons that this perfectly meshes with the things that they want, right?
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, it feels like it calls to me, dude.
Yeah.
So like giving the dueling sword 15% extra attack speed, like I can't believe we live, especially the other thing that needs to be discussed. Placement, dude. The nodes.
Yeah, here.
Yeah.
By the way, by the way, would you like to guess where our talent trees differed when I did my meta build?
Oh.
What do you think?
You probably took more defensive stuff at the top.
No, I'll tell you it's in the bottom half of the tree. There's 2 points that were different.
Oh, really? Because I don't know how I would change 2 points. Okay,
I'll make my argument for it right now. Okay, so you took...
All right, I'm down.
You took Always Prepared and On Your Toes. And you took Fully Loaded.
And
I took this out and this, and I took Toughness and Bring It Down.
I think that's terrible.
So
hold on. I actually was considering that. I was testing that in the laboratory. You significantly hamper the out all prepared, because part of the plasma gun being so good is never having to.
But
it doesn't sound like it's a big deal. Listen, man,
it isn't a big deal. It isn't a big deal. Just reload it.
Kind of. See, you say that, but the fact that you never have to stop shooting
shots
it for any...
before you have to reload. What situation are you shooting 35 times before you reload in?
Maybe I just use the plasma gun a little bit more than you do.
Yeah, but I'm melee heavy with it, which is why I can sacrifice this too. But like this class is so strong on melee, so I pull it out often enough to get the kill for this. Once every 6 seconds, I pull it out and bop something. But that's pretty much it. Like, I'll pop something important, but I'm not sitting there just going bwomp, 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 bwomp all day. And I never, even on Havoc 40, I don't run into this.
I'm gonna say something. I think the plasma is stronger than dueling sword, and I think the main focus of this is to abuse the plasma gun as much as possible. I think the plasma gun is somehow still extremely slept on in the fact that it literally breaks everything about the game. No joke.
It's true. It's strong, but I just don't think that
especially now.
I think that this is like, just reload your gun and save yourself a point.
Listen. I think if you're gonna not take that stuff, you would get so much more value. Go up to the top, taking the exhilarating takedown and confirmed kill. If you have exhilarating takedown, confirmed kill, and out for blood, oh my god, you literally cannot die. You restore more toughness in the art.
I just don't think you need all of this, because you're also getting 5% per second now.
Listen. I don't think it's not about need, mystery. It's about like it's not about.
Where is this? Is this here? Can we?
Of course it's up there.
Okay, cool.
Dude, it makes the dueling sword and plasma gun significantly better.
True
and
enough.
Those are like the two best things in the game. It's hard to get a better bargain than that.
I think that both. So like that was literally the only place our alignments differed. This is still absolutely goated. You definitely want this. That's so much toughness. That's crazy. I made the argument that like, okay, so like the two things that you're just pumping damage into that you're gonna waste a lot of ammo killing would be monstrosities and ogrins. You could save a little bit of ammo there. I just never really run into that situation where I feel like the 25% extra ammo is it. And of course, the
thing
plasma,
about the
plasma gun.
25% ammo, you get extra ammo back from, I don't know if this is the same because they actually stealth nerfed the plasma gun with an unlisted patch. They adjusted its ammo values. So I don't know if this is still
They changed
true,
that back.
which this would probably...
Are you talking about the
okay,
one that was
because,
hotfixed yesterday? Where after this patch, where it had like less, like 10% less. Yeah, they fixed it. It was a bug.
Man. My point is that 25% is like an extra bullet with survivalist. At least it was. I don't know if it still is.
I don't think that works like that anymore, but I'm just not certain.
Oh, really?
Because
that's how it's always worked.
Yeah, I was testing that, and it's like it seems like with survivalist you get like 2 ammo back every 5. It alternates. It gives you like 2 for 2 procs, and then the next one it gives you 1. Because after they changed it, it doesn't round anymore. So
interesting.
It counts decimals on survivalist now, and it'll give you a like 1 ammo, and then it'll give you 2 ammo twice, and then it'll give you 1 ammo twice. So yeah, you're not like benefiting from that rounding error.
Fully loaded, at least for the longest time, fully loaded was important to always have like near positive or at least neutral returns on plasma gun and stocks.
I just feel with like how melee heavy and or ammo independent most other classes are, you're bringing survivalist, you can hog the fucking ammo. I don't feel like I'm ever threatened for running out of ammo on this weapon, and you get 65 plus shots. So anyway, this doesn't need to be a discussion of the.
Oh, okay. You're the one who brought it up.
I don't know. I wanted to talk about it. We'll talk about it later privately. You guys will that's behind the paywall too. Okay. Focus target, really solid.
I think focus target is niche now. Honestly,
I think it's.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. No, it's not even close to solid. So here's the thing, right? This is starting to get power. Okay, hear me out here. This is starting to get power crept out of the game. When you have 20 crushers in a fucking havoc, sure, you're giving everyone on the team 12% damage, but does that actually, like, is that Keystone worthy? And then it's like, yeah, sure, the one crusher's getting like 30% damage applied, but who gives a shit? Do bosses last more than a second anymore? You can't even make the argument nice to just throw this on a boss. Every goddamn game I've played since coming back, a zealot has one-shot every single boss that spawned. So I don't even think the argument of, well, it's cool to just throw it on a boss and get rid of that is valid, because bosses die in a second.
But they can die in 0.6 seconds instead. It's at least standard. Come on, this is at least a standard ability.
Standard anymore? I don't know, because look at how many points you have to invest to make it good.
But these are points you take. This is a good. These are good nodes.
I don't mean. No, dude, I don't mean those. I mean on the actual Keystone. So think about this for a second. So if you take just focus target, raw focus target is terrible in Havoc. It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, just one. You wouldn't take just one.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, right? So okay, let's look at some of these other talents. Okay, so 16. You get the like the ones below it. Okay, so you kind of have to take the increased stacks to 6.
Yeah.
And you have to take that so you get value out of redirect fire, because redirect fire with just 8% damage, we're getting dangerously close to.
It's not 10% damage. So yeah, it's not reaching that 10% damage threshold that's worth it.
That's exactly what I mean. So you need to actually invest you need to take focus target, then invest 2 points just for a team-wide 10% damage, when like fucking Ogren Aura is already doing that to everyone, and you have to take an Aura anyway.
That's true.
This is the problem with this node, is that as Havoc is scaling up, it's scaling up not by increasing health pools and having very threatening enemies. It's just fucking spamming you with these enemies.
Well,
honestly,
they might be fixing
what
that.
They should do?
So we'll see.
Listen, you know what they should do? I think right now, honestly, focus target is like objectively really weak right now. And I think what it should do is, once you've killed the mark target, it should just transfer the mark with all the stacks to another target.
That would be very nice. Yeah, if it was a little like hop over thing.
If it did that, it would be perfectly fine. I think as it is right now,
here's what they do. Fat Shark, I know you watch all my videos. Make this core, make it 6 stacks core, make this node be the one that makes a hop to a new target. There you
Yeah,
go.
no, please, because
And
if you did that, this
and
node would have a purpose.
or
Right
if
now,
you wanted to nerf it a little bit and like keep it reasonable, make it have a duration where it's present on the target, and like, okay, it's present for 15 seconds or 12 seconds or something, and so it can hop as many times as you can kill targets in that duration. There you go, something like that to kind of balance that out, so it's not just like
the problem right now. I mean, look at when you like playing Havoc and having like all those issues that night. Would pointing at one crusher and making it take 30% more damage have changed anything? No, it would not.
no. But
Because
would weapon
it's just
specialist also help my team from dying or DCing? No.
I mean,
That's beside the
yeah,
point.
but what I'm saying is 15% attack speed to a weapon that can delete the crushers, like
That's true. I
that
mean,
is
the
huge.
thing is
that
like
is more flexible than just
this-
one guy taking
this
damage.
if you, I mean, this is like the forceful of this. Like, you take this, you just do it. You just do it for yourself. Okay, this
Yeah,
is like,
exactly.
hey guys, go kill that target for me. And like, I like that. I like that. Like, it helps the team when you're not focusing on yourself. But this just, you can just do it. This is, you just do it. Like, yeah, I like the flavor of it
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
And that's why I made a build
that's
around it. That's why I like it.
So that's my thing with focus target. The problem with focus target is it benefits when the game is slower paced and it's more about high value enemies.
Yeah.
Havoc is not about high value enemies. Havoc is about,
anymore.
oh my god, there's 15 crushers running at us, regenerating health with like 10,000 souls. What do we do? And focus target just cannot exist in that environment and actually be. Ironically, another problem is since purple is so hard to visualize, good luck making sure the one you actually tag is the one you actually need. Yeah.
I wish it would. It should adhere. Like, it should have a target prioritization to only hit like high prio enemies. Like, and it should rank like,
No,
okay,
seriously,
if this would self-select like enemies with purple buff on them, I would choose it every time.
Yeah, no, it would actually have a place. But the fact that, like, okay, well, what if that purple guy is behind a bulwark or something? Okay, well, what? I guess I just focus target the bulwark.
Yeah,
we kill
you
the
can't get
bulwark
to go
in
on
one
that
hit,
thing.
and now what? Now we just, that's what I'm saying. Like, back in the days of, like, Auric Mail, see, when 3-Veg was, like, the hardest thing in the game, this was absurd. Because bosses were not dying in a second.
Yeah, here comes another boss, tag, boom, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we are not living in that environment anymore. And I just think this
The
environment
boss shows
is
up,
so
the zealot
not
goes,
yeah,
next.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Dude, there are times when it's like, I didn't even get to fucking mark the boss. And
You
even
just
if
hear
I did mark the boss,
like boss kill
even if
noise.
I did mark the boss, what? His health bar goes into the negatives now?
It would have overkill damage on the scoreboard. Okay, what about Marksman's Focus?
I think Marcus Focus is really solid.
Me too. I think this is my favorite change in the whole patch, I think.
Yeah, seriously, this shows me that Fat Shark is actually willing to like make important changes.
And they changed the vigilant autogun. Yeah, very, very solid.
Yeah, I actually like the DMR sniper setup now. I think it's not the most abysmal dog shit thing I've ever seen in my life.
And this is actually really cleverly designed. Like this, they changed this so it's not just like the useless like recuperation of toughness anymore. It's replenishment, which scales the other toughness effects that you get, which scales this. So if you have 15 stacks, you have 60% toughness replenishment. Now you're replenishing 16% toughness every second, and then this offsets your toughness, or sorry, your stamina consumption with Deadshot. So you can constantly be getting the effects of Deadshot, that sway reduction and stuff, and just pelting heads. And it's very nice. That range finesse strength, it only works with certain weapons, but those are some of the weapons that really needed the love in the game, like the sniper style, precision style, conventional ammo weapons. And yeah, I like it a lot, and it's definitely like actually usable, and it hits the like fantasy that it was going for as well, which is bonus points, I suppose. But yeah, it's definitely solid, and it works for a lot of different like weapons that have been slept on to that point. Good. Okay.
I agree with all of that.
Now we got the big boys. Let's go ahead and get the easy ones out of the way. Where is Castigator's stance? There it is. Stupid.
God mode.
Stupid ability. Literal is just like, okay, I'm not dying for 10 seconds. Fuck you. I love.
It also gives you 50% fucking damage.
It was
if you take the one.
Fucking funny because I was playing this early, right? And seeing people melt down when they posted like generic like descriptions of these abilities. They never posted any patch notes until after like our streams and stuff had come out to show what this stuff was. So players were fucking melting down because they're like, Fat Shark, you're so fucking stupid. What do you mean you can't sprint with his ability? You're just gonna die. It doesn't matter how much damage reduction it is. And then not Alcal, what's his name? A Quick Paul was in the comments going, what if I told you it's a pretty sizable amount of damage reduction, and they were still like, shut the fuck up, like there's no way, you'll just get like whatever. And I'm over here playing this and being like, these fucking morons. Like there's like, holy shit, like this, they're gonna like eat these words in like 3 days.
You have two ways to succeed in Darktide. You can either finesse around everything, and this is something everyone forgot because most of the Darktide player base has never played Vermintide. For the longest time, Darktide was about finessing through things and finessing your way around. Like, oh, there's 7 crushers. Okay, well, I gotta like carefully bob and weave.
Wait till one's overextended and get it.
Yeah, exactly. And it was interesting. Darktide, however, after the RBDs, after this patch, it is firmly shifting back into the fucking fucking like run in, like everything is going.
When you're at the beach and like you're just like, fuck it, I'm going in the water, and you like just hike up your pants, you just go crashing through the waves and just like stumble in there and start like slapping the waves that are coming in and like belly slamming them as they roll in. That's this ability where you're just like, fuck it, I don't even give a fuck about you, water, fight me, whole ocean. Like you just do it. And also, of course, that amazing noise that it plays when you activate it is very aura. They nailed it on this. Like,
yeah, that's kind of been the theme of past couple streams here. I don't care. I just press this button and I just don't care. I'll let a crusher overhead me. I'll let a boss.
Fuck
whatever.
yeah! Dude, the funniest thing about this: do this, jump on a burster. You take no damage. You don't even take corruption. You take like 1 point of corruption. If you have gold, you don't take any damage. It doesn't even break the gold. It's so funny.
Yeah, this thing is dumb.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
And it just stacks damage. I don't like it, but I love it. And then speaking of come at me, the charge with 10-second cooldown. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
it's Kruber with a 10-second cooldown, 25% bonus damage, impact, 50% impact.
Fucking love Kruber. Instantly restores all your toughness as well. We love Kruber. We fucking love Marcus Kruber.
As if there weren't enough. Or as if there weren't enough replenishment and there were too many gaps in this man's toughness where like, oh my god, I took a hit. I'm vulnerable, guys. Oh, just press the button? Okay, I'm full. Both of these abilities, just press the button and you're full toughness. And of course, I have no idea why Castigator Stance needs to instantly fill your toughness to full. I thought it was like because when it came out, it was bugged apparently. Where if you were standing in a fire effect like a bomber or a barrel and you activated it, it wouldn't replenish any toughness. And we were like, oh, that's just how it's balanced. That's actually kind of clever. And they're like, oh, that's a bug. It's just supposed to replenish the toughness anyway. Like, oh, okay, all right, cool. So this ability is also just like fucking come at me, bro. But like you can actually die using it, but kind of barely, and that's fine.
There is, however, an ugly duckling ability.
Yes, Nuncio Aquila. I would rate this ability standard.
That's kind of where I feel.
This
but
is like the most standard ability for me.
I think this depends. I think the way you view this ability will really depend on your understanding of the larger way combat flows in this game. I think this ability is really solid, but I don't think most people will want to use it in a way that's really solid.
That's true.
Because this is basically, I don't see how this ability can be any worse than a flame grenade, considering it is used the exact same way.
Right, yeah. Fight me here. Fight me, bro. Like, it's not ever standing here, yeah.
Yeah, it's very strong. Like, enemies having like 30% less attack speed and damage and all. Like, it's very strong. I was
going to say about that 30%. I think personally, and we'll go to the thing, I think that the only way to play this is just with this node right here. The revive speed, toughness, damage reduction, attack speed is crazy. Because this already makes enemies take 15% increased damage. So those are multiplicative, right? You're making them take 15% extra, and then you're attacking 10% faster. So enemies in here get murdered very, very quickly, and you're not getting murdered in here. Also, you're replenishing toughness. This, however, is not as anywhere near as good as it seems, because enemies that chain attacks do not have their attack speed lowered by this. So like a rager that swings multiple times, he still just swings multiple times in a row.
I don't scare. Ragers are like such a low
tier well, I mean, I
think the actually scary things are like overheads, like a fucking.
But is 25% less damage like? I don't think that saves you from dying unless you're already got
it's
like.
It's more the slowdown. It's more the slowdown. But
well, it doesn't make their attacks slower. By the way, it makes the the time between their attacks
Yeah, no,
longer.
I'm sorry.
They'll
I'm
still
sorry.
drop the
You're
overhead
right,
on you
you're
just as
right.
fast.
I don't know. Yeah,
So
I
like
know,
they'll
I know,
wander in
I
and
don't know why I'm
they'll.
calling it.
Yeah, I think.
But
this
what
is
I
not worth
mean
the
is,
point,
it's like you drop it down in like a doorway, and like the guys, like it fucks up their entire like.
Yeah,
It fucks
if they
their
use one
rhythm up.
attack and
I
they
don't
miss
know.
it, yeah, then they're out because they have a
Yeah,
longer cooldown.
it's
It's the cooldown between attacks, so that is good. But
look. All I'm
overall,
saying, man, is if you gave me this effect in Vermintide, I don't think I would ever.
right,
Because
right,
like,
right, yeah,
oh my
it's very
god,
strong.
the cooldown on Chaos Warrior overheads is fucking crazy. So making it even longer,
Yeah,
like, sheesh.
the way that fights are fought in Vermintide, it fits much more with this ability too, because many more of your fights are like, we stand our ground here and we fight the
That's
fight.
exactly what I was
In
thinking when I
Darktide,
was reading this ability.
if you put this down, there's a non-zero chance that some bullshit happens and you cannot stay in this circle no matter that it is a regenerative circle,
I just
because
kind of view this
you
like
just get bowled
bubble,
out of the circle.
honestly. Like
Kind of, sort of,
I
yeah.
just
You
view it
could
as
just
like
abandon
it's
it.
just like
Yeah.
melee. It's basically just melee bubble.
Yeah, that's true.
Ironically, if you have bubble and this together, that's like a
Hell yeah,
very face roll combination.
oh
You
yeah, you're
very
not
much
dying.
just kind of win.
You just go from one to the other. But I think I do agree with you. It's really solid, but you have to know how to use it. I put it in a build and I call it the tactician build. It's like these are
Brainless.
brain
Brainless.
dead, and this is a
Brainless.
thinking man's ability. Okay, so I mean, most RPGs are just going to use these because they're
Bro,
more powerful anyway.
why do you think it's shaped like a head, bro? It's got a brain in there, dude.
That's right. That's gives you the extra half brain. What else we got? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and do Ogren, because I'll just solo Ogren, I guess. Rework this fucking ability. God damn it. Like they know it's bad. They're giving it buffs. They're giving point blank barrage buffs. They gave it these tiny, tiny, literal 0.5% buffs. You have to realize they have to, because they know the pick rates. They're talking and they're telling us about the pick rates and the win rates of the different characters, which means they can see, they have detailed stats on who's picking what. They can go in there. They have data on this. So they can tell that no one is picking this shit over like Malice difficulty. The problem with this ability is it gives like 8 different bonuses and only one of them applies to whatever weapon you're using, and the bonus is like 10% of whatever, and these no longer do anything. So you're not taking like these don't give you any damage at all. They're not killing bosses like they used to. They're not instant giving crushers like they used to. So what's the fucking point? You would get 90% of the damage out of just going Loyal Protector, and you'll survive every single game, and you'll make your teammates survive too. This is going to waste a bunch of fucking ammo, which is a resource that is in high demand. If they made this not consume ammo, we'd be talking a different game. So maybe consider something like that, Fat Shark, but like this just needs to be reworked. It is not going to be viable in the game in any way, shape, or form. And also, by the way, half of Ogren's ranged weapons are hot garbage. So like we're not using those anyway. So any thoughts on that?
They took the flame stacks away. Why the fuck would you ever use?
Because there are Ogren playtesters who repeatedly abused the flame stacks and thought it was one of the most powerful things in the game with instant murder bosses. You know that this ability, by the way, was for a very long time in the beta and stuff. This was like the most powerful ability because the flame stacks would stack whenever you hit any part of a boss, and so like rounds that penetrated like from the Twin Lake Stubber would go through bosses and hit them multiple times. So you'd shoot a burgle and it would hit about 6 times, and it would insta stack to 32 stacks of burn, and they would instantly die.
Well, no, dude, oh, hold on, wait, what did you just say? It would stack how much burn?
32 or whatever the cap was. Yeah.
In the beta there was no cap on
right. Yeah, so that's what it was.
Recon las guns were ticking for like 10,000.
Yeah. So yeah, so the and then the it finally got brought down to 32, and then they fixed that bug but the playtesters thought that was intentional for Ogren. And yeah,
I don't understand how anyone can think that's strong when they watch the fucking Marty Dom Zealot one-shot the boss and then
because they only play Ogren with other Ogrens is what I heard, but that might be just hearsay. But I've heard that the Ogren, and I've heard this from playtesters inside Fat Shark, that they do a 3-stack or 4-stack with their Ogrens, and then like there's in pre-Ogren rework days. Remember, this got changed with the Ogren rework. In pre-Ogren rework days, the other two abilities were worse than this. Well, they were just kind of like abilities, right? You had charge and you had taunt, which were like whatever. But then this one would actually just murder bosses. And so they looked
No,
at the
charge
damage at
was
the end of the
definitely
game.
better than this.
Oh yeah, but like you'd look at the end game damage screen, and the guy with that was playing this would have buku crazy fucking damage because he's running the burn and just instantly murdering every single boss. And he was like, okay, this is overpowered, so it needs to get nerfed. So they knocked the burn stacks down and made it usable with other weapons. Little did they know that that makes it useless. So anyway, this sucks. Rework it. And we're going to go to Taunt. Absolutely game-defining, wonderfully broken ability.
Called it.
Yeah,
Called
like
it.
the fact that this echoes now, and that it stacks on echo. So if you have 3 enemies,
Bring it in.
it'll do it again.
Bring
Yeah,
it
thank
in.
you, Tanner. You definitely did this.
Bring it in.
The fact that if you have 3 enemies and it hits them again, it'll stack to 6, and then it hits them again, it stacks to 9. So, oh, thank you, Novid. This is like the Ogren ability right now. Charge is also really, really good. I will say Charge is I'll just talk about them both at once. Indomitable here is really solid. The fact that it dodges ranged attacks and stuff like that now, that attack speed, it's very good. But the just like in Havoc, the amount of control this applies to enemies, the fact it wrangles all this bullshit and says, you must now attack me. If you are a skilled player and you can play and not get hit, well then by definition, no one is going to take any damage because everything is attacking you. And you're not getting hit, so no damage is going out. And if you do get hit, you have a ton of regeneration going on. You're, of course, staggering everything. So you just, walk everything around the map lead it by its nose. Yeah, like, absurd ability. I love it. Definitely what I was hoping for the Ogren rework. And it's okay if it gets like a 50-second cooldown. That's perfectly fine. This is a very, very impactful, game-changing ability. And I'm glad that Ogren has one like this. And then I think I spoke enough about Charge. It's just a solid ability. Nice DPS steroid. Feels awesome to charge through stuff. And it is impactful when you get a nice long line of crushers or something and you knock them all to the ground. But it's not as impactful as taunting everything and forcing it to like single file go into your slot system and get fucking murdered. Okay, now we're on to some stuff that Tanner knows more about. What do you want to talk about? Zealot, Psyker, or Veteran?
Well, everything here I know immense about. So take your pick, honestly.
Well, we need to keep it 11 minutes or less for all 9 of these. So let's talk about.
All right, you're gonna have to pace me here.
All right, Infiltrate.
Infiltrate is kind of niche. It's kind of weird. Infiltrate is just shitty Shroud.
Yeah,
and honestly, if I could be honest, I don't think Shroud Field or Infiltrate should exist. I think Stealth. I think Fat Shark really royally fucked up when they made Shade. And I remember Hedge talking about this. He said, dude, one time Hedge in the fucking Red Moon Inn Discord, he says, every single day I wake up and regret that we made Shade. Because, like, it was...
How do you balance around a class that just completely vanishes the map repeatedly?
It opened Pandora's box in that they always have to have this in their games now.
For that type of player that wants to play that,
But this shit just is antithetical to everything in the game. So it's got some nice stuff. The suppression is kind of cool. The damage for whatever. The biggest problem with this ability is if you go on the thing, the buffs don't last long enough. If it was a thing where you could actually make the buffs like, if you can make these last...
As a proportion of the whole, as a proportion of the cooldown, it's very small. Versus the Zealot, who gets a 5-second stealth, which is counted towards the cooldown, and he gets a 5-second, no one's going to attack me after this cooldown ends. So, and he's getting cooldown back in addition to that. So yeah, this is like got a 50% uptime, either being stealth or being unable to be targeted or very unlikely to be targeted. This, you're gonna be targeted, well, unless you take the 90% stealth, but like that's an extra node that's just pretty much wasted for this when you could just not be out of position. And this is not like, unless you take 2 charges and you get yourself in a bad position with this, you aren't Zealot, as a reminder. Like, Zealot has like 15 different ways to just like get the fuck out of there and be super slippery and stuff. The Veteran is an old man. He gets gassed. He's not that fast.
You gotta kill everything, dude.
You do have to, like, you need to be killing stuff, and you need to be getting like benefit out of this. I just don't think that stealthing in and getting a couple of picks is anywhere near as impactful as like it needs to be. And stealthing to do an objective is not worth it. Just shout and do the objective.
I just think this should fucking be nuked from the game, dude. I
Me
don't. I
too.
think
Me
leave
too.
this itself as a zealot ability. This. Why is this even a veteran? This
Yeah,
literally
it
doesn't
doesn't. It
even
doesn't
fit the
fit.
class.
It doesn't fit like archetypically with the veteran, and it doesn't. It's not a good feeling ability to
He's
use.
supposed to be the team leader, not
Yeah.
going like adios, guys. You
Yeah,
know,
he's not
like
supposed to fade into the background and fuck everything up. Yeah, it's just like it's not a good feeling ability, and everything you can do with this ability, like people are like, oh, I can do the objective, I can hack the thing. Just shout and hack the thing. Just literally like just do it. Just pick up your ally, just shout and pick your ally up. So like there's no real reason to use this ability, and I just think it's you know, obviously like it's just kind of like inherently a toxic ability. Like if you made the most toxic build in the game, it would 100% be infiltrate veteran with dropping the threat, and you would just run up and just like aggro a bunch of shit and then stealth and fuck it off onto your allies.
speedrunners be like.
It's like Zealot at least gets the benefit of being able to really capitalize every time they stealth. They can take out a really big target. This, you get 30% damage. Who gives a shit? There's so much other stacked damage in this tree right now, and you're also just griefing your fucking
for
team.
A couple seconds.
Yeah, right. It's for 10 seconds. And like, this is a 45-second cooldown or a 60-second cooldown if you take the fucking double stack thing, which you kind of have to take in order to be able to get out of there. Yeah, it just needs to be reworked or like reimagined as something else. It just doesn't fit with the class.
No, it needs a complete reimagining.
And you're griefing, and you're griefing to take this, honestly. Like I think when I did this previously, I had like low-key griefing was the thing, but I want to be nicer about it. But like this is kind of like you're shooting your team in the face. Yeah, it's just it doesn't work with the game. Okay, let's execution stance. Executioner stance.
Executioner stance has always been pretty good. I feel like it's more I think the Executioner stance fandom is gonna kill me for this, but I think it's standard.
I think it's standard.
I really think it's just it all comes down to shout. Shout is just fucking.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and so Executioner stance, just to really quickly wrap it up on that one. It doesn't really give you very much. If you can see your screen, you could already see those targets except for the ones behind the walls. Yeah, it allows you to pick a target that's crossing or something, but you can already shoot pretty damn well with the veteran, especially with like, you know, some of the stability and stuff. Marksman's Focus works with or without this. It's giving you 25% headshot and weak spot damage and some stability. So for certain weapons, that's pretty good, but I don't know, like it's just super standard. Like it's the veteran ability, but actually no, it's not, because this is the veteran ability, just shouting constantly. And this is the definitive, like this ability, I think, defines Darktide more than any other ability in the game. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think
we need to rip the Band-Aid off and just nerf this fucking thing already.
I was very surprised to see. I think that it will come because they are not done with the veteran class. But they've nerfed the cooldown.
This ability is retarded. This is what Kruger shout wishes it could be, dude.
Highly regarded by many members of the community, but also, yeah, mentally disabled.
How long have I glazed this goddamn note? I have spent a year of my life saying this is strong. And I feel like I can, in this framework, this is no longer the framework of let's evaluate how strong it is. This is the framework of let's just talk about it. It's time. It's time to put the old man to bed. The gold toughness, just gold toughness in general, just needs to go away.
I think it's just gold toughness. Here's what I think. You know, players in lower difficulties, Auric and stuff like that, they don't care. Let them have their fun. Make the Emperor's Fading Light remove gold toughness. There you go. If gold toughness didn't exist in Havoc, I don't think that the players who think this is an issue would have any issue with the ability. If this literally just made your toughness 50 higher for everybody on the team, it would still be good because it would reduce the damage you take as a percentage of the whole. But gold toughness's effects, even having 1 point in gold toughness means you can't take health damage, is broken. And having this be a 15-second buff with the amount of toughness recuperation that exists in the game right now, a Ogren or an Arbites who's constantly regenerating their toughness can replenish their toughness. Like, you can get hit by a Crusher overhead and have your gold toughness ready to go within a second and a half again, and just take another Crusher overhead. So it just completely removes the ability to make mistakes or take any chip damage, which just fundamentally breaks the pacing of the game. It's like, for the same reason people are like, what about like, you know, why aren't there like keystones or like abilities that are like, what was it called in Vermintide? The 1 health every 5 seconds. It's because, like, yeah, health is supposed to be your resource that you're like losing over time.
The elf, Carillion.
No, not that. But I'm talking about the Curio thing. The every 5 seconds you would gain 1 health.
Oh no, Shia's boon.
Yes. So like, feel like why,
dude.
but like that would fundamentally break this game because you just don't take damage. The only way you take damage in this game these days is catastrophic fuck ups. That one moment where you don't have the gold buff, and that's when the enemies collapse on you and murder you. That's when you die. But if you have gold buff, I mean, you all feel it. You don't realize you feel it, but you feel it when you're playing a game without gold buff. I felt it the entire time I was playing on the Arbites test server because no one was fucking run golden buff. They were all running Arbites. And Arbites, you were like, oh, this is pretty powerful. Like, damn, like we're cleaning up. Then we got on the live server, someone threw gold buff on, and we went, holy shit, this class is literally unkillable because you're overcapped and you can't be hurt. And like, so this just makes you turn your brain off. On lower difficulties, you like what is it, on heresy, you can get hit 4 times by a trash enemy, like by like a rail enemy, before you take any health damage, before you even take 1 point.
Gold toughness,
so
dude, gold
you don't even get to
toughness
play the game at lower difficulty. And then
gold
of course
toughness disables the most dangerous things in the game too. Like
yeah,
all of the stuff,
all the
like
stuff that the game did actually pull out to kill you. Yeah, like so like the question is for the game's balance is like, okay, what can they do to actually hurt the players? Because the goal of the game is to lower your health to 0 so that you can lose, and you need to be able to lose sometimes or else the game isn't a game, right? So what window of opportunity does the game have to do that in? With gold toughness, or with shout specifically, you get a 15-second uptime on an ability that can have a 15-second cooldown, even with the nerf. It can have a 15-second cooldown very easily. And so, yeah, there's no window, unless you're playing like fucking morons, if you're gold buffing constantly, where the game can actually punish you, and that therefore, in order to actually punish you, they have to put this bullshit in the game that just completely overwhelms you. You know, you ever wonder why the game spawns like 5 bosses at once? Why Crusher hordes are like 10 deep? Why they thought Plasma Gunners, why Reginald says Plasma Gunners are a great addition to the game because they're a counter to gold toughness? Like, it's because killing you through gold toughness, yeah, it's because killing you through gold toughness is fucking impossible. And because this ability exists in its overpowered state, it makes every encounter in the game harder because they have to overcome this stupid powerful ability, defensive ability. So if you don't have it, you just get fucking smashed. You just get absolutely fucking leveled. You have to play 10 times harder if you don't have a gold provider on your team at high difficulties because you can actually take damage. So if they remove this and then base the game around that, it would be easier for everybody, and there'd be other stuff that's more competitive. And then you look at like just within the class, how the fuck are they ever hoping to buff Infiltrate or Execution Stance to be anywhere close to this ability? It's not even, there's no contest, right? I've made videos about this before. It's like, there's no fundamental way you could do it. You'd have to make these abilities like auto aim and murder everything for you. And it's just not fun at a certain point. So I think just removing gold and havoc, and then the players that care, get it out of here. Okay. Tell me about Scryer's Gaze while I talk on the phone.
Oh, okay. Well, this is another apt thing to leave off to me because this is something for Scryer's Gaze is in. If this was a Havoc tier list, this shit goes. Honestly, even in Havoc. So Scryer's Gaze is another thing that is just begging to be abused. It is one of the biggest damage buffs in the game. It has the longest duration of any ability in the entire game if you play well. It has completely broken bullshit around it. You can macro abuse this. You can like do anything you can think of. Infinite smite, 15 to 500 ball shots with the staff M1, 500 electro staff balls. Like it's like, and ever since they have introduced this ability, it has been abused in kind of unhealthy. Gunpsyker taking this back when Auric Maelstrom was the top dog. You would take this on Gunpsyker for 60% combined move speed, so you were always a room ahead of your teammates. You were always killing everything. It was very not a fun experience. Then Havoc comes out and it's like infinite smite, infinite ball spam. You can even use this with the flame staff just to buff the dot. Like, if you don't feel like you need, because like now, you know, with perilous combustion overstacks and stuff, you don't need the push, the foos. You don't need that. I forgot the name. And the fact that, like, I don't know when they made this change, but now that there's like Venture or whatever, it's just this ability, just stop buffing it. stop buffing Scryer's Gaze. It has been buffed just like Smite in every single patch. Now it's like to a point where you just, I honestly think in Havoc, if you can survive without the bubble, there's really no reason not to use Scryer's Gaze for everything. Because with the amount of elites on there, Perilous easily keeps you overstacked. And this is just damage. And because it's damage that never goes away, like, I really do feel like we have reached peak Psyker, where you just take Smite, Flame Staff, Scryer's Gaze, and, like, there you go. If you can live without the bubble, if you've got, like, 2 vets for gold toughness, or Book Zealot or whatever, if you've got any form and you feel like you can exist without the bubble, and you can get a Scryer's Smite, like, Flame Psyker, oh my god. I honestly feel like it's kind of worth it, because, like, the only time I've seen people reach into, like, the 3-4 million damage range in 4-player games was when they're doing Smite, Scryers, Flame Staff, and they're playing it super optimally and keeping maximum uptime on, like, everything. The fact that Psychonetics Aura will cool this crap down while it's active means it's an endless perpetual loop of Psyker just lives with the highest movement speed, arguably some of the highest damage buffs, and it's constantly regenerating his toughness. He's constantly ping-ponging on Peril. The fact they also added those nodes that give you straight up toughness, or I'm sorry, Peril Quell on damage and various forms of damage, Peril Quell on weak spot hit,
This guy's still
Peril Quell
talking
on
about
ranged hit.
Scryer's Gaze?
You told me to talk about Scryer's
okay.
Gaze, and I honestly have a lot to say. They keep buffing Scryer's Gaze. This shit goes.
It's good, right? Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
This is like, dude, Melee Psyker, very nice. It feels very nice now. Honestly, quite a viable playstyle, even into Havoc. Like, you know, you can actually pump some serious damage. I mean, you always could, but like having that cooked in damage reduction and making the, like, all the tree more accessible, these are good stats, and the Psyker really likes them. So, yeah, I agree.
That's basic. That was basically everything I had to say, was just stop buffing Scryer's Gaze.
It's so much
like,
fucking
that's
stats,
everything
dude.
now.
Yeah. It is so
and
much
with the
fucking
fact
stats.
that it just endlessly loops itself and cools you down and just does everything now, it's like a god button.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, with this, that's quite balanced and good. Bubble, man, come on.
I think Bubble has definitely become iconic because of
yeah.
Havoc. I think
it was
Bubble
quite
is,
iconic.
talk about a glow up. Talk about a glow up, man. Bubble used to be garbage. Bubble used to be abysmal glorp shit, dude. Imagine trying to play Bubble.
I swear, I remember you shaming me for like bringing Bubble, or like saying that Bubble would be like good, or like people should run Bubble in high difficulties.
I mean, ironically,
because you could just stomp on everything with Scryers back then, but.
Well, the thing is, yeah, because back when Auric Maelstrom was the hardest thing, Bubble was terrible. There just weren't that many gunners.
Right,
that
yeah.
did exist just weren't that dangerous. And if, like, the whole meta was just go,
right, yeah. Well, it was a fucking kill fest. Everyone was in competition to murder everything first. And so the
fact that most
the zealots
of the fun
and then
of this
the
game
Psycho
yeah,
Zealot.
exactly.
Yeah.
There was like a year of Darktide's life where the only reason people were playing it was if they were soloing and duoing, or if they were just trying to mog their friends on the scoreboard. Like you'd get people together and be like, all right,
scoreboard gambling, or just you're just repeatedly running missions and trying to push your level to like 5,000 at true level.
Yeah, in my Discord server, we literally did. Like, you think you're better than this person? Okay, lock in the same build, play through the same map 3 times, best of 3, whoever wins 2 out of 3 is the winner. Like, that was like the only way to keep yourself entertained at air was it. And Bubble was the counter to all of this. With Havoc, Bubble is now like, Bubble's pretty good in Havoc. There's a bit
yeah, no shit.
But
yeah.
Well, I
think even in Auric now, it's pretty damn good, because the game has also power crept in competition. I mean, Auric is. Have you played Auric recently?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Auric can be pretty spicy at times.
I've been playing pretty much nothing but Auric.
I think what you're like, if you're overcapped in the skill and you're going into Auric, right? If you're a Havoc 40 player and you're going to Auric, okay, don't run Bubble, just run Scryers and murder everything, right? You won't even need the defense. But if you're like an average Joe and like or it gives you a run for your money sometimes. Bubble's one of the strongest abilities in the game, and they're just made it stronger by making it have infinite cooldown. So great.
The thing is, Bubble changes its usefulness based. Bubble is super contextual. Like, imagine
Based
trying
on
to
the
run
seed
Bubble in
ability.
Alice.
Yeah.
Like, dude. Yeah.
Right. But I mean,
yeah.
for the context that we want this to be, like when we're competing with the stuff
Bubble.
in the game, the Bubble scales with the difficulty of the game, which is one of the things that makes abilities strong. Is like when they get more essential.
I don't know, man. When
more the game.
plasma gunners were ripping the Bubble to shreds in like 3 shots in like 3 seconds, it was kind of like
It'll still pop it pretty fast now, but they are now they're nerfed. They won't shoot that many times at all. And you also don't run like anywhere near enough.
Honestly, Venting Shriek belongs up there as well, I think.
Really?
Venting Shriek?
I think this is
dude,
pretty
at the highest level of Psychers, people like Beef and like Meow Beep are still using this, and they're still using it very effectively.
But we can't rank for that. We can't rank for that. Like the players don't know if you can't teach someone in like a YouTube video how to play in such a way that you can get use out of the ability. I just
then it's
can't.
Still really solid.
It's gonna be solid.
I mean,
that's gonna be fine. Yeah, but it's not. This is not as strong as Shout is, right?
Yeah, but dude, okay, nothing in that row
or
is as strong as Shout is.
Maybe, or Castigators,
maybe the Shock Mine
or Bubble.
is. Maybe Shock and Castigators are. But come on, man, that's not fair because like almost nothing in that row.
This can be as strong as Ogre Charge, right? It's like, yeah.
No, that's so much stronger than Ogre Charge.
Well,
oh man,
because Psyker is a broken class, yes.
The notorious Psyker is doing
because
it again.
Psyker is a broken fundamental class. But we're not talking. But we're not talking about. Listen, those people aren't watching my videos. They blocked me a long fucking time ago. The 2 Psychers out there who are using this.
What do you mean the 2 seconds after? Mystery. This ability still has a place. It's still incredibly top tier. And if you look outside of Havoc, if you aren't feeling good enough to play like Scryer's Gaze to really utilize it and stuff, this is still the go-to everywhere outside of Havoc. Because it still does everything. It still clears the screen.
It's still good damage.
It still synergizes with Perilous Combustion. It still does everything.
I definitely think it's really solid.
Perilous Combustion plus this can still literally wipe an entire screen, just those 2 things together. It's like, you know, this ability, don't call it a comeback. He's never went anywhere.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid ability. I just don't think it's like, I just don't think it's like the strongest in
I didn't think it was the strongest.
Well, you wanted to put it in the one that says the class or the game's strongest abilities.
No, what I'm saying is I didn't think it was the strongest, but the more I played with it, like the more it just never. This ability is a fucking cockroach, man. Every time you think it's bad, you get schooled by some like esoteric warp entity 6,000 level Psyker, and you're like, I never thought about using it that way. Holy shit, that's broken. And that's just kind of the story of Psyker. Everything Psyker has is like line broken. Psyker is a class that's dependent on. I'll put it this way. You can put anything Psyker has anywhere in a tier list justifiably, because depending on your own knowledge and perspective of that particular class, you can kind of justify any
I think that's my fundamental problem with the ranking of the Psyker, because you're trying to rank it like according to these people that you know that are like gods.
Myself too. I'm ranking it based on my perspective. Like when I play the class, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see.
And I'll rank it based on my perspective, which is when I play the class. This is okay.
I know, but what I'm saying is my perspective is, okay, so I run, slide, puff the staff, quell cancel, puff the staff twice, double stagger the enemies, apply 6 flame stacks, boosh immediately to re-stagger them as soon as I get back into a vulnerable position, which then pushes them up to 12 stacks. They die. Perilous Combustion. Now I'm overcapped. Now I can Dueling Sword. The overcap stack spread, and I'm like, I don't even care about gunners. I hit the gunners with the flames because I'm just aggressively running into them. And it's just like, Psyker's a weird-ass class.
My experience with this is I cast the staff until I accidentally go over peril and I'm about to blow up. And then this is like 2 seconds off a cooldown and I'm spamming it and I'm hoping it comes up. And then it finally comes up like 1 second before I explode and I vent and I'm like, phew, cool ability. Thanks, Fat Shark.
I'm glad we can be friends, Mr. The duality of man right here.
All right, let's go on to the Zealot. I think the charge abilities is a really solid ability.
Charge. I think Charge belongs in the top tier. I think Charge is crazy. I think the guaranteed rending, the increased
Rending,
damage,
100% super rending, super crits
yeah,
is quite
dude,
nice as well.
that's yeah. The super crit, just okay. There's the
Yeah.
purple crusher. I click this. It's dead.
And
it's
having
just
two
like,
charges was a really nice change for
and
this
the fact
ability.
you can, yeah, no, seriously, you can dive into a stack of crushers, kill the purple one, and then just leave. You just leave. You just press it again and you just leave. It gives you your toughness back. It gives you your attack speed. Even after the nerfs, the main thing about
What
this ability
nerfs?
is the fact that it gives you 20. The nerfs to the cooldown reduction.
Oh,
so
right.
that the you can still maintain like 80-90% uptime.
But
on
you'll
the attack
have only a 21-second cooldown, and then if you are getting crits guaranteed, that's another 3 seconds. So you're really like, if you let's say you miss one crit window in 3 seconds, that's a 12-second cooldown as opposed to the 10-second cooldown it used to be, right? So like, as long as you're killing an elite on charge. So
yeah, exactly. But that's my entire
with
point
missing
though. Like
something.
this plus, dude, trust me, man. This plus, listen, Mystery. This plus Marty Dom. You just need to trust the process here.
Oh,
This
obviously,
shit
yeah.
is just
This
one
is
shot.
stupid.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
What people do is they use Marty Dom. They use this. They have like 70% attack speed. They one shot crushers, and they're like, oh, okay.
Honestly, I've made enough
15
builds with this. I
crusher
don't know
pack.
why I tried to put this here. It's definitely like stronger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like,
definitely stronger than
that-
charge and this Nuncio
Yeah, that's
equivalent,
exactly
so,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
I don't know.
Like,
I guess I'm sleepy. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is just a very basic, like, it has a very, very basic function, but it allows you to wallop thing real big and good and be fast and dodge a million things, and it's good.
boss damage and boss damage. Yeah.
Stealth. How are you feeling about
Everything.
stealth after the rework? I know you hate it, but is it strong?
I
or
think
is it?
stealth. Yeah, of course it's strong.
Okay.
What stealth is still the
Is it
theoretically
strong?
strongest thing in the game. Listen,
Yes.
Okay, listen,
yes.
listen. I will not. I
Naively.
promise I will not. I promise this will not take me long. Stealth is still the theoretically strongest ability in the game. I
Cool.
mean, the fact that this game, the community is notorious for like, if you post a run with stealth, it's like immediately invalidated. No one cares. It takes no skill. Should really be indicative of how like this is the ability. If you are a skilled, let's put it this way. If you, I'll just say this. If you are a skilled, like a very skilled player, not even very skilled. If you're just a skilled player with like the dueling sword and this, you literally cannot lose.
Correct.
It
yeah.
does. If
Anytime you
you're
get in
like,
trouble,
I
you
don't-
just press the win button.
yeah, if you're like, okay, I don't care if this run takes 2 hours. I don't care if my teammates have to sit dead and watch me for like an hour and a half.
If you're the worst
You-
sort of toxic fuckhead.
Yeah, exactly. If you are the worst kind of human being, this is theoretically the strongest ability because it immediately breaks aggro. It immediately stops everything. You press this button and you have 100% control of the game for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And like,
Shit, the fact
you
that
get
they
it
buffed
back,
it with
so-
this right here just like
Exactly.
solidified that. It was already crazy broken. I mean, granted, you had this cooldown reduction where you could have it up in like literally less than 5 seconds after you came out of it. But the fact that nothing will target you now is amazing for this, because that was the only weakness it had before, was you couldn't really play this into like in original Havoc. This was good because original Havoc was like scattered gunners and they would like be distant and there weren't that many like threats in the field, but this was impossible. You couldn't play Shroud Field. Like I think I ranked, I don't know if I remember if I did a ranking, but like Shroud Field was very bad into Havoc before this rework because there's just so much shit. Right, there's like literally like 15 crushers. You can't get in there.
See,
You'll get surrounded and you'll die.
My thing is, it absolutely, hold on, it absolutely depends again on perspective here and like what you're trying to do. If you just want to win every single game and you only trust
you could just
yourself,
run through the
this
level. Sure. Yeah.
Well, no,
yeah, you
I'm
can
not
do
even-
that.
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying that. You don't need an opening with Shroud Field because Shroud Field itself is the opening. Like the what I'm trying to say here is you can infinitely stall the game forever.
Yes,
with
I
Shroud
think we're saying the same
And
thing.
that's-
Yes. Well, I mean,
Well, I'm not
witness
even saying,
witness the run. I mean, and many of you probably were watching the stream like 2 days ago. Everybody on the team died. It went catastrophically tits up. I was a Shroud Field Zealot. What did I do? I just ran from respawn point to respawn point, getting people up every time I could to the end of the game. And because I tried to get someone up when I shouldn't have, that was the only reason we lost that game. I could have kept stalling that out forever and eventually done it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a guaranteed win if you have the skills to pay the bills. Yeah,
exactly. As long as you don't ever make that one critical mistake that gets you caught, which honestly is very fucking easy to do, you can literally stall games for hours with Shroudfield. It is, if you are like, I need to win at any possible cost. It's like if you lose this game, you get shot in the head. It's like a saw trap or something. You have to win this game at Darktide. You would pick Shroudfield.
If you're good, if you're actually a skilled player. If you weren't, you pick Ogre with taunts or RBDs. But yeah, the Shroudfield is just like,
it's toxic. It's toxic as fuck. It's a stalling tool.
Yeah. And it makes the game unduly hard for your team too, because it now just dumps everything on them and nothing will go on you. So, I mean, yes, you can do work with it. So I appreciate that they changed it in such a way that it encourages you to stealth, dump the enemies in your teammate, and now run behind them and stab them and actually clean them up, rather than just stealthing, killing the one target you wanted to, and then running forward and doing it again with the next pack of enemies. Like, they actually kind of encourage you to stay close to your allies so the threat gets pulled off.
Ironically, even before that wasn't really the best way to use it. The best way to use it was just as a god mode. Like, you press the button, nothing attacks.
Just fight like a normal melee fighter, and then when you need it, just pop it. Yeah. But like, so it fits better for that role now too. So it's...
Yeah, so it's like you hear a trapper, I press the button, I locate the trapper, I walk to a position where I can throw a knife, kill it. Same thing for a dog, same thing for anything. And it's like, if you are ever in a position where you can ever get hit by anything ever, you just press the button.
Because the Zealot's a strong enough melee fighter without his ability, and then you just save it for when that big thing shows up to be like, aha, you're dead, okay, done. Yeah, so it's a strong ability. I mean, it just wins games. It's kind of a
strong
toxic
in the worst kind of way, because
it
doesn't help your team in any way.
It in fact makes your team die. Yeah, you will fuck every team.
Exactly. It's not like Shout where you press the button and everybody is like, oh, this is my chance. I get to.
Yes.
No, this is that ability.
Here's
where
the
you're
rallying
like,
point.
Oh, this is the ability for the guy who leans back in his chair with one arm on his chin, one hand on his chin, and he's like, these fucking scrubs don't have 5,000 hours. Oh my god, look at how bad they are.
There's a type of ability in this game, or there's a type of ability or thing in this game that I call them tide turns, because I think it's kind of funny, but those are some of the strongest things in the game. Think shock mine, think shout, think taunt. That's the moment where it's the inflection point in the combat, where you go from an overwhelmed situation where you're about to die and the whole team is on dire straits, and you do this one thing, you make the play, and the play turns it, and then everyone rallies from that point, the full reset. So chorus is this in a kind of sort of way, and taunt is this, and shout is this. This ability is that for just you.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
It's available and it's available immediately, whenever you need it.
It's the guy where the zombie horde breaks in. He's like, all right, see you guys. He's stepping out the fucking back door with all the guns in it and food and shit. He's like, you're on your own. See ya. He unlashes the last lifeboat in the Titanic and is like, you serve me well.
This ability is at its absolute peak when you have the mentality of well, I'm better than everyone. Why should I even bother playing it like a team?
True, and that's why it's
I'm clearly the best.
Yeah, that's just how most players have seen it.
I hate
it's pretty bad, but it is fun. It is really fun though. It is.
Oh yeah, especially now with the bonks and the backstab.
Yeah, it feels so fucking good.
Regular Joes that are just
if you're playing it with a team, this ability is also better than it's ever been too.
I'm sorry for taking up so much time here, but if you're just using Shroudfield and then thunderhammering a boss, whatever, none of this applies to you. I'm talking about a very, very, very niche specific subset of people, and I used to be one of them, so I know. Yeah, I used to be one of them, so I know exactly what it's too.
Yeah, he's in the 5-step program. Recover. All right, let's talk about our last ability and the end of the tier list, Mr. Tanner Lindbergh. It's the chorus ability.
Look at what they did to my boy.
Look at what they did to my boy. Literally my boy. Okay, this is the probably the defining thing that people would come and see me do on streams. Famous chorus build maker Mr. E, and now I really do not like using this ability. I think it's very clearly the worst ability on the class. I don't think it serves any purpose. You're not being a support zealot in Havoc anymore. You just be a support veteran if you want to be a support. And it's all because like this ability is boring as fuck to use. Yes, it pauses the game for 7 seconds, but you're then standing around for 40 seconds without anything special to do, and it sucks. I don't know if it's like, it's still strong, but that cooldown, man, that fucked it. That really fucked it. But I asked for that, literally, so. The Tanner
It's just Zesty book. Zesty's not booking no more. Zesty isn't booking anymore. Zesty refuses to play books now.
Here lies
Zesty refuses to book. Guys, I can't scream it. I can't scream it enough times or loud enough to get him to do it. He won't do it. And to me, that says everything I need to know. It's not even a fucking book.
It's not a book. Yeah. First of all, rework and make it a book, or make it a relic, one or the other. I think this is.
I want it to be a book. I want it to be like the goddamn
picture. I think that this is probably my #1 ability in the game that I want to see a rework. I think there's cool ideas here. I think the best idea that someone in the chat came up with when I was talking to Reginald about it, which is probably why this got nerfed, honestly, was that like this should just have a resource bar like Barden's crank machine gun on Dwarven Engineer, where you can spend a certain amount of it to pulse however many times, and then there would be like a technique where like, okay, you can pulse 1 time, that'll give everyone gold, that'll push everyone's toughness up a little bit, whatever it is, and it'll knock everything back very slightly. But the longer you hold it, the faster it takes the bar, and the more effects you get. And so remember, you have to pulse 5 times to get the damage buffs and the defense buffs. So they can keep all that shit, but just make it so that like you don't have to just stand around for 6 seconds and do nothing. And also the cooldown is just fucked now. So like, you know, it's way too long a cooldown for an ability that also pauses its cooldown while it's being used. So you can't even get around that anymore with Invocation of Death. So yeah, you're just like dead in the water.
They fucking killed this thing. They took it out back and old yellered this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what they should do with it from here. It's not a healthy ability for the game. And this is what I said.
Invulnerability, gold toughness, maximum suppression radius, like
yeah, just like, okay, we're using the book and now we are winning this engagement. Great. Rinse
the worst
and
part
repeat.
is nobody ever wanted to be the one using the book because it's boring as hell.
I did, but it's just that I was running players through Havoc repeatedly. But yeah,
all right, Mr.
but
Tylenol,
I was,
Mr. Tylenol,
but hey, listen. In my defense, I was also the one who went on the thing with Reginald and said, "Here is exactly how I would nerf the book and keep the rest of the class relatively intact," and that's exactly what happened. So I think that I've got a guardian angel of some sort looking over me. I just said, like, listen, the cooldown is fucking cancer with this ability. It literally does not, like, it's fine. The other abilities need the cooldown to function, like, fundamentally. This does not need the cooldown. In fact, this abuses the cooldown. This is just abuse of the game. So yeah, there you go. So overall thoughts. Is there anything that you're looking at it we need to move up or down, or are we pretty much, I mean, we talked about it.
Focus target should not be standard, but other than that,
yeah, look, it's low standard. Dude, look where it is.
Focus target is so not good in this meta. It is nothing has been kind to it since it's come out. In fact, it's been constantly shit on.
What if you're an Auric player?
Even if you're an Auric player, it's still like, who cares? With all the damage we're doing, does anyone care about a 30% damage? Dude, the fact that like, right, for example, you're a veteran, right? You're a veteran. You take agile engagement. Give yourself a 30% damage buff almost. Like we're reaching the point where 15% is now seen as like a normal.
It's like, a damage taken increase for the enemy, so it actually is quite a lot damage taken, but it's to one target.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Well, listen, just sleep on it, okay? Is never sleep on it. No, wait till a couple more patches go by.
I have slept on it for many nights. I have gone by many nights. Focus target in its current form against the current like challenges in the game is really not good. Like,
Well,
And
wait,
I used
YouTube viewers, wait in the comments below when this gets posted. I mean, you guys could on live stream too, and tell us your thoughts on Focus Target. Tell us your thoughts on anything on the tree, and remember to super chat. You can super chat in the comments of YouTube too, apparently, and I'll just edit it and just cut out the Tanner parts, and we'll move it wherever you want for enough money. Okay.
That's fucked up.
No, like, I agree with what you're saying. Like the power creep and the quantity creep of the game really makes it hard to put any emphasis on a ability that has a cooldown to be used on a single dude. And there's way too many single dudes out here that are just need to be getting focused on. The solution would be to, and hopefully this is the direction they take the game, because I've heard that this is what they want to do. The solution would be just to crush down the numbers of enemies in the game and buff their HP if they still want to continue going this route like they're doing with the Crusher. If we enter into a meta where like more Crushers and stuff like that exist, Focus Target gets good, but when Crushers are just something in the horde of 1 quadrillion other massive enemies, then it's pointless.
Well, what you meant to say there is when there's one Crusher that has like 10,000 health and is like actually a threatening
right, and it can't get staggered or something. Or here's another great way to buff it: just make it so you can paint as many targets as you want. It just takes time to paint
that would be another,
right? So
that
like,
would be another decent thing.
Just have it do like this does. Execution order, and just like it builds up 6 stacks, you tag the next target, and now that target is one of your add to your priority, and that would actually give a very unique role for that class. That's the only keystone that allows this player, this commissar like commander player, to tag multiple targets and say eliminate these enemies, team. Like that would actually be pretty damn cool, and it would mean that you're not sitting around wasting your time twiddling your thumbs while your ability is charging up to do almost nothing. So yeah, I don't know. Cool. Or like make it an AoE or something, but I think that's a little bit, I think it's focus target, not focus, not artillery strike this fucking area with your Ogren Rumbler. Cool, well, great work, Tanner. High fives all around.
What did they do to the book?
What did they do to the book? One of them.
They censored the hell out of the book, dude.
This book is had some woke ideology in it, and it's they're burning this book. This one talked about this one mentioned there's a third gender in it, and they took it out of the library.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to read this until you're 25 and married.
God damn, man.
Yeah, but I'm very happy for how much like stuff is up here. Like this stuff, this is good. Look how much more is up here in this evaluation than in the past when it was like here. It was the bracket, and there was like a couple of things smattered up here.
Dude, I'm happy I've made as many tier lists as I have, because there's like this like digital like footprint of the history.
Yeah,
where
you can prove that you have these opinions.
No. You can actually see if you go back to some of my oldest tier lists.
Oh yeah, I saw your oldest tier list. Guess where this was? Guess where this piece of shit was? It was up here, and you argued with Jefficus for like an hour to put it up there.
Dude, the meta though, that was right when the meta was. There was unironically a time where was the meta, because like you were just speedrunning because the game was not even.
Yeah, you were just trying to be the first person to get to the next enemies and kill them. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not in that era. And honestly, that era was starting. But like you can see over the time that like more and more things have gone out of the bottom tiers and into the top tier.
Yeah,
where it's good. Like, especially like a year and a half ago, I would make a tier list and it's like, oh my god, half of this stuff is terrible. Yeah. And such a problem with pathing. Pathing was such a problem for so many things, because so many things were genuinely
it's a compounding
good, and
issue too, yeah.
I would always have to say that. I'd be like, so in a vacuum, if you could just take this, you totally would, and it would be competitive. But the fact you have to waste 3 points on absolute dog do I want 50% damage reduction on crit, or do I want 2% toughness back on like killing 3 enemies? Like, of course this is an obvious choice. And it's like, yeah, it's this update was very, very good.
Yeah. I'm glad you turned around your... I mean, it still has the same issues that you identified initially, which is like, it's reinforcing a haves and have not sort of thing with the changes to the Crusher, which the changes to the meta, but there are a lot of abilities and stuff that are doing better as a result of the changes, as a result of some buffs, and many more things are competitive, not necessarily into Havoc, but like at high levels of play, you can play with other stuff and not feel bad for using it.
Listen, Mystery, I view Crushers like the East Germany wall, okay? Tear down this wall, okay?
That's what I'm saying too. It's like, okay, yeah, they
like,
are the great divider.
If they were not this roadblock, then seriously, I don't think the weapon meta would matter at all. Crushers
No,
like
it would just be what can do damage and is easy to use, or like, you know, works with certain builds. It's just that there's this giant ass gatekeeper who says, I have carapace armor, and if you can't kill me, your build is dead, and you'll need to devote at least one weapon to killing me, and there's only 3 weapons that do it, so good luck.
Exactly, and that's literally Darktide's only problem. I genuinely think
It's
if
carapace.
they redo, like, genuinely think if they work how carapace
I mean, shit,
armor works.
if you carapace, Uncanny's not a problem anymore, right? Uncanny wouldn't be a thing if carapace didn't exist. Uncanny doesn't do anything against non-carapace enemies.
Uncanny would still be a I want to make a video talking about it. Uncanny would still be I think, honestly, Uncanny should just be completely nuked out of the game, and I think that carapace armor should be completely nuked out of the game.
I think that if they're going to keep carapace armor, then they need to just add weaknesses, like weak spots or something, to these enemies that gives them counterplay, so that like other like weapon types can do something against them. The counter, the way that it worked in Vermintide was that like every weapon, or like most every weapon, had at least a move that could like armor break, that could like deal with these dudes. And yeah, it would take you longer, but you could do it. That's not the case in this game. There's weapons that are just absolutely fucking just stone cold dead if a carapace armor, like a Chaos Warrior, shows up. And, you know, that's just fundamentally not how it's designed. And since they're in every game, you're done.
Something that always feels very weird to realize every time I like get reintroduced to it: the shovel. The shovel is unironically, legitimately, not like any marks or special attacks, spamming M1 with the basic brown shovel on the veteran is legitimately one of the best, most consistent ways to deal with Crushers.
Because of Uncanny.
And the only reason that is the case is because of Uncanny Strike.
Yeah.
If your weapon has Uncanny Strike, you can literally do nothing and just M1 spam Crushers, and they feel like they don't exist.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to... you have the dueling sword, and you have the heavy sword. The heavy sword with no Uncanny Strike does 12 damage on a Crusher headshot with a light attack. The dueling sword does 360 something damage on the light attack and a headshot. Like, okay. So where's so like, I don't know, like
that's the final hurdle.
It makes sense to me that there needs to be like big enemies that are threatening, that can't die immediately, but then there just needs to be not things that can.
That already was a thing. They just fucked it up. That was already a thing. Literally, like, Crushers should have a flak head. There you go. 90% of the problem solved.
Yep. So you actually have to try and aim against them and take your time, or wait for them to bend down and murder them. Then, like, yeah, if they had weak spots or something like that, then it would make a world difference, because then you wouldn't have to literally tech your entire build around this one asshole.
The thing that's weird, Maulers, flak body, carapace head.
Yep.
Ragers, carapace body, flak head. And Crushers, like, the rework that they did to the armored Ragers should have gone to the Crusher. And the armored Ragers were fine being all flak. Like, there you go.
I wonder if this will finally push it over the tipping point, because like it's pretty visually obvious, the issue that they face now. Like when you just, like, certain weapons just cannot against them.
Yeah, the fucking Terminator is walking.
You're just like, if you're not using it, you're just kiting around these fucking dudes all day. And then of course, like, Ogre and RBs aren't affected by it at all, because maces just crush the fuck out of armor. So yeah, feels good. Anyway, it's nearly midnight, and we did a good, and I'm gonna end the recording there. So thanks for watching, guys. This is gonna be multiple parts, because no one wants to sit through 5 hours. And thanks for watching. Shut up!
I made a 12-hour video. People sit through it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna milk them a couple times, and go subscribe to Tanner Lindbergh.